So there's a general principle that I want to explain to you of the mind. And this is the principle that the mind hates confusion and not knowing. The ego mind wants to know. The ego mind needs to make sense of its environment. This is fundamental. You've been doing this since you've been born. You do it so effectively, so seamlessly, so smoothly that most of us don't even understand that we're doing it. It'll take you many years to understand that your mind is spinning narratives to make sense of reality. So, when you're not conscious of this, you go about the process willy-nilly, flying by the seat of your pants, and you fall into very many traps. Reality is so complex that most minds cannot handle the complexity of reality. So instead, what the mind does is the mind fabricates comfortable stories, gross oversimplifications and exaggerations and perverted distortions of reality. And it confuses these perverted maps and distortions for reality itself. Most minds are unable to explain why evil and selfishness exists in the world. Most minds are desperately struggling for meaning and are deathly afraid of meaninglessness, of nihilism. And most minds lack any kind of introspection or taking of responsibility for one's own meaning-making process or one's worldview. This worldview is just absorbed by osmosis from the culture you happen to grow up in. And so, given all of that, it becomes much easier for the mind to simply concoct a conspiracy theory than to deeply question reality or its own worldview. See, I could admit that I don't know anything. I could admit that I'm ignorant. I could admit that I might be tricking myself with my own mind, but that would mean I would have to spend years and decades reading books and contemplating, racking my own mind, introspecting inwards, questioning myself, doubting my culture, doubting all of the things that were taught to me in school by my religion, by my teachers, by my pastors, by my family, by my friends. I could question all that and go through that whole decade-long process. But that would involve a lot of emotional labor. It would be very difficult. It would be very time-consuming. It would cause me a lot of uncertainty and inner turmoil as I reflect inwards and I discover difficult things and delusions within my own mind. And I discover just how little I understand reality. I could do that, or I could take the easy route. What's the easy route? Hey, it's the globalists, they're pedophiles, they're responsible for the reason that I am stuck in this dead-end job, the reason I'm a wage slave, and the reason that I pay too much in taxes, and the reason that government is so fucked up. Wow, look how simple that is. I can quickly summarize that in a few minutes. I can provide all sorts of evidence to confirm that it's true, if I'm not too picky about things. And it's very emotional. I can get pissed off about it. I can create a crusade around it. Like, okay, yeah, now let's rally around this and let's go get those globalists and pedophiles and so forth. See? And I don't have to do any serious inner work. There's no emotional labor. There's no difficulty of taking responsibility. I don't have to look inside to see that I'm the devil, that I create evil, that I myself have various kinds of shadow elements and dark sides to me, and that I also have sexual perversions, as many people do, and sexual repressions and things like this. And I've done bad stuff in my life as well. See, taking responsibility for that is very challenging. That takes a mature adult mind to do that. That takes seriousness. That takes a commitment to truth, self-honesty, and there's no immediate payoff for it. You're not going to earn a lot of money doing that. You're not going to become famous doing that. People are not going to, praise you for doing that. You're not even going to get much of a sense of meaning from doing that. Whereas, if you go with this pedophile conspiracy theory, bam, instant sense of meaning, instant purpose. The world seems fully explained. There's no more questions. I don't have to admit that I don't know anything anymore. Now I know everything. There's no more confusion. Perfect. That's what the mind wanted. The mind hates confusion. The mind hates not knowing. And so there you are. It's very easy and convenient for the ego mind to trace all the evil in the world back to one source, which is not itself. And of course, as you should expect, there's only one source of evil in the world, and that is yourself. That's the one thing your mind is avoiding. That's what all conspiracy theories are basically avoiding, is the realization that the only source of evil in the world is your own self. That's what you're in denial about fundamentally. And that's why you come up with all these distractions and you blame all these other people out there, because otherwise you'd have to get to work on all the evil that's within, all the selfishness that's within, all the ignorance that's within. Conspiracy theories also allow you to feel superior, morally superior to all those other evil, brainwashed people out there who are part of the conspiracy or believing in the official narrative. See? Once you get a hold of something like, oh, yeah, I understand how the pedophiles are taking over the world. Once you get that sort of belief system in your mind, you start to feel special. You start to feel morally righteous, like, oh yeah, I'm so good. But that's exactly how the devil tricks you. When you start to feel like you're good and that others are evil, that's exactly what then will get you to not reflect on your own actions. And it's the lack of reflection on your own selfish actions, which literally is the cause of all the evil in the world.